for Life podcast with OEV's revamp. I told y'all the revamp was coming. Now it's here. So y'all get ready for this. Come get it off your chest. That's right.
Think you say make God it's time, we'll get it off your chest. Chips and sex.
Come on.
Really gon' get us right. Bring us to do this for life.
That's right.
Think you say make God it's time, we'll get it off your chest. The chips and sex, come on, yeah.
Welcome to the Ships and Sex Podcast with your big sis OEV of Be Truly Faithful. I'ma still be right here in your ear every Wednesday, exposing the ills of our relationships and the repression of our sex lives, while always giving practical steps to get us from struggle to liberation. So come get it off your chest at Ships and Sex. So let's chill into today's episode. What's up, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to today's episode, which I believe is episode 5 of the Ships and Sex Podcast with your girl, your big sis, OEV. Okay, now listen, today's topic, we're talking about what happens when you marry the broken man. What happens when you marry the broken man? On last night to be exact, I took to Facebook Live in my amazing Kingdom Building group for women, over 15,000 of us in there. And I did what I normally do on Tuesdays, my Tuesday talk, which it was a live this time. And we talked about what happens when you marry the broken man. Now, it was a very emotional live for me as I shared from my own past and background and shared from other ladies as well. And I gave a lot of insight to what it's like in being in a ship with a broken man. Now, if you want to get in on that, you need to go to oev.life, as I tell y'all just about every week, and just scroll down a little bit and click on to join the group. You'll see the link to join the group, and you can go directly to that live because it was very emotional. There were a lot of women who were set free on that live last night. A lot of women had confirmation last night and stepped on a lot of toes last night. And I did make that clear up front. And so I won't do as much today, but I'm going to do just a little bit. But what I want to do today is be just even more clear than I was yesterday and just give you a little bit of what that live was about and answer the question of what happens when you marry the broken man. So before I get started, what I want to do is do two things before we go into it. Is I want to define what is a broken man, and then I want to give you a Bible verse that will help you understand where I'm going with all of this today. What is a broken man? We've been hearing this for a while, like broken men, don't get involved with broken men, or watch out for broken men. And of course there is the broken woman, but we're talking about what happens when you marry the broken man. So let's talk about what a broken man is, or what's been said that a broken man is, the traits of a broken man. Primarily, a broken man is a man who has a ton of potential, but has yet to own up to that potential. Okay. He has tons of potential, but has yet to own up to it. Okay. So he's got all this potential. So when we're talking about a broken man, we're talking about a man of potential. All right. That's primarily what a broken man is. He has a lot of potential that has yet to manifest, has yet to be realized, and things like that. And they can be a very strange and complicated breed, right? They will oftentimes go through the motions of wanting to be in a ship with you, but without any zest or enthusiasm. Like, studies have proven this too, that they really do want to be in ships with women. They really want these relationships. The problem is they haven't been properly trained for them. And I hate to use the word trained there, but for lack of better words, I will say trained, or how about prepared? They haven't been properly prepared or taught how to be in a relationship with women. So here are the traits of them. They normally come from broken homes full of dysfunction. Oftentimes, they do not have a good relationship or a relationship at all with their father. Oftentimes, they are raised by single mothers with lots of issues. We're not talking about the single mother who's doing the best she can and she solicits other righteous men to come into her life to help raise her sons and even daughters. So we're not talking about those type of single mothers that's been put in that position and they're doing the best that they can. We're talking about the type of single mothers who have a lot of issues with the fathers of their children, just within themselves too. They deal with so much. There's so many things from being a single mother, but they also have a lot of issues as well. So oftentimes these type of men are raised by single mother with lots of issues. Oftentimes they were not taught how to treat a woman. They do not have righteous male figures in their lives. And another trait of a broken man is they may hustle and grind, but they were not taught how to provide. There is a difference. Okay. There is a difference between men who go out and work, hustle and grind, and men who provide. Okay. Because providing is not just monetarily. It's not just making sure the bills in the household are paid. It's more than that. And we'll talk a little bit about that too, because I went into detail of it on the live. So another trait of a broken man is he won't go the extra mile for you. Like you will go the extra mile for him because primarily that's why you're with him, is because you want to nurture him and encourage him and you love him and all of that too. But he oftentimes won't go the extra mile for you. They can have misogynistic views. Oftentimes they had a traumatic past. And one of the biggest one is they are emotionally unavailable. They are also hard on you when you mess up, even though you are not as hard on them when they mess up. That's a big one. Most of their friends are single and they take advice oftentimes from their homeboys over righteous men. Okay. Oftentimes they do not seek advice from righteous men. They'll get it from a homeboy who's not even in covenant, and they are in a covenant and their homeboys are not. So they'll seek advice from them. Most of the time just talking about the woman that they're with and not really seeking righteous advice. So these are some of the traits. There are more, but these are the main traits you'll get from broken men. Some broken men actually do have a decent relationship with their father, but may not have a good relationship with their mother. Oftentimes what you'll find is that when men do not have good relationships with their fathers, it affects the way they are with women. Okay. It affects negatively the way they are with women. There's been studies done that if the man doesn't have the best relationship with his father, it oftentimes affects him negatively in life versus if he doesn't have a good relationship with his mother. They both can be detrimental for him. Okay. Both. Because we should have good relationships with both of our parents. That helps us in life. And it's just been too many studies done on that. Now that I've given you the traits of broken men, here's the second thing I want you to be mindful of. 1 Corinthians 15:33 states, "Do not be misled. Bad company corrupts good character." And this was the Bible verse that I led off with in my live last night on my Tuesday Talk Live. Now, what I want to do today is read to you all, let's break down that a little bit so you'll understand more why I use this verse as a foundation for being married to the broken man. Now, in the King James Version, and I'm not into all these different versions, battles, either, battle here, this one's better than the other. But what I do like about the older King James versions, the 1611, is that there's great commentary to go with it. And these words are, we know there's transliterations and things like that. And I'm not going to be technical, all of that. All I know is this is great commentary and you can break down the words even better. And so in 1 Corinthians 15:33, in the King James Version, it says, "Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners." So even though I said, do not be misled, bad company corrupts good character, here it says, be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners. So let me tell y'all what that means. When it says be not deceived, it means basically don't roam away from safety. Don't go astray. Don't be seduced. Okay. By what? Evil communication. So what's evil? Evil just means, another way to say it's worthless or it's depraved, injurious. It's harmful. So be not deceived of harmful communications. Now, this is the word that I want y'all to really get. I want you to get the translation of this word because it's pretty big. Another word for communications, y'all, is companionship, because the Hebrew word is hamalia and it translates into companionship. Do you know another word that's used there for companionship? Intercourse. So listen, be not deceived. Evil communications, evil companionship, evil intercourse. Yes, there's such a thing as evil intercourse. what am I getting at? Listen. It says corrupt. Evil communication is corrupt. We know what corrupt means. It means to waste away, shrivel, whether it's depraved as well. It's defiled. All right. Especially figuratively by moral influences. Y'all got it? Evil communications corrupt good. Another word for good is useful in manner or morals. Meaning a lot of women were good ladies. Good women before they got into connections with broken men. They were gracious. They were kind women. This is what this translates into. Manners. Another word for manners is habits. Do y'all hear me? I hope y'all getting where I'm going with this. Moral habits, manners. So Bible is saying, be not deceived. Evil communications, evil companionships, corrupt or withers away good, useful, moral habits. Did y'all get that? It basically destroys. Evil communication basically destroys your moral habits. Evil communications, evil companionships. Evil. Don't think of evil as just scary movies and stuff. Evil, another word for evil is worthless. Worthless companionships corrupt good manners. Do y'all hear me? I want y'all to get this. I want my ladies to really get this, because this is what's been happening. We've been entertaining and dating broken men, and then we marry them based off the potential that they have, their potential unrealized. And then what ends up happening is worthless companionships are corrupting our good habits. So the things we used to do before we met these guys, these broken men, we don't do anymore. We've lost ourselves in our marriages when we are married to broken men. Now, there are levels to this, okay? So I'm making a general message here. That means you may have a situation that's different to what I'm saying. All broken men doesn't mean all marriages will be bad because you're married to a broken man. It depends on the type of broken man he is. I gave you the traits. If they have several of those traits, I'm sure the marriage won't be a healthy one. I grew up in it. I grew up in that. It was all around me. It seems like all I could see was broken men. Broken men who didn't come from the best homes. And so they took out their frustrations of life on their wives and their children. And a lot of times, because they didn't get the nurturing that they needed when they were younger, they didn't fully develop into full-grown men. And so what's happening is these men are walking around, but inside of them, they're broken and they're underdeveloped men. And so you may be full-grown woman. You may have been taught in certain ways, or maybe you got some issues too. Don't get me wrong. We're not talking about just issues here. We're talking about a broken man here, a man that needs to be restored. And if he has yet to be restored, if he meets someone like many of you, you will try to act like his God and restore him. You don't realize you're doing it, but that's what it is. So let's talk about that. All right, let's talk about that, because it's called a name when women do that. Because it's not your job. It's like I said last night, it's not your job to fix a broken man. It's not your job to restore a broken man. Because when something is broken, it needs to be fixed. Even if someone is broken, they oftentimes needs to be fixed. But it does not mean it's your assignment to fix anyone who's broken. See, women, we are caretakers. We are nurturers. And really, oftentimes, I want to quit saying oftentimes today, y'all. But yes, ladies, we are caretakers by nature. And we're nurturers by nature. So that is our forte. And we're actually really good at it. Okay. We'll help people out in their time of need. We will be there for you, right? But when it comes to someone being broken, that means we want to help in making somebody whole again. And that's not a one-person job. That's not your job. That's not one person's job. And when it comes to a man being broken, it's not your job. You're not his mother. It's not your responsibility to pick up the pieces of a broken man. You have to allow that man to get himself together unassisted by you. Do you know that broken men actually are the only one who knows what it truly will take to make him whole? And it's not you. See, that's the thing. They know that, but they'll try to enter into these relationships with you because they feel like, well, I just need a good woman. Oftentimes, in the old school, they would say, man, what you need is a good woman. These broken men was being told they need a good woman. You can trace that back all the way to The Color Purple, right? The book's money. What you need is a woman. No, that mister didn't need a woman. He needed to be valued by his father and identified by his father, or at least father figures in his life. Okay? Broken objects, I don't care whether they're animate or inanimate, have the tendency to be dangerous. Think about when you drop some glass. Glass goes everywhere. It's broken. If you don't know where those pieces went, what will you do? Walk on that glass and cut yourself. Broken objects, broken men, broken anything is not necessarily a good thing. You got to be careful. So, am I saying that broken men don't deserve your love, your attention, your time and companionship? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that they need to be full grown, developed men before you give of yourself to them. Because if not, you're going to end up being hurt, deeply hurt by it. You got to remember self-preservation. It's got to take priority in your life for you to even become a reliable source for others. You can't be a source of a broken man because you're not self-preservation here. You're not doing that. You're making sure he's okay before you're okay. And oftentimes who suffers? Not only you, but anybody else you're connected to. They suffer too because you're suffering. So if you have children, this broken man is causing you suffering, then you're going to suffer, and inherently your children are going to suffer. And that's my life story. So my mother was suffering, yet her children were also suffering by being with a broken man. So what I was telling them yesterday is that you're called a soul rescuer. You rescue souls. And oftentimes when we rescue souls, we end up in failed relationships. It's another failed ship. It's a sinking ship. If we have to do the rescuing in relationships, ladies, listen, this goes for men too, with rescuing broken women, but we're not talking about that today. We're talking from the other perspective. But if that's what we have to do, if we're constantly having to rescue our mate, it ends up in a failed ship. So what is a rescuer? She is a woman who attaches herself to her men. Then most of these men are emotionally unstable in some way, shape, or form. The rescuer type woman, she focuses on and cares and is concerned and is more worried about her man than herself. And actually, she's more worried, concerned, and focused on him than he is on himself. She does this repeatedly in her life. She will look back. Many women, this is where I was stepping on toes. Many women found themselves doing this time after time after time with different men in different ships. And see, these men, these broken men that they've been in relationships with, they'll find that first, these men are oftentimes sweet, coming off as kind, right? And they have tremendous potential. But not long after, y'all, they start revealing themselves to be emotionally volatile, aggressive, unhappy, controlling, and unstable. And many of them can't even cope with the aspect of their lives. And that just reminds me of some things that my dad went through with the hardship he went through in life, losing jobs and not being able to make income. And he took that out on my mom. So when you take it out on others, that means you can't cope with what you're dealing with. What happens in your life that you can't deal with, you oftentimes will take out on others. Who does that? Now, some of us have issues where we do that, but broken people do it the most. Because they'll do it constantly. They're constantly blamed. Why do you think that there are angry men who abuse? They are upset. They have anger planning. Don't get me wrong. There's a seed of anger there that's manifested. But they're blaming others for their anger. They'll blame you for making them upset. Did you hear what I just said? They blame you or others for making, quote unquote, making them upset. They don't take responsibility for their life. So they're not able to cope with what's going on in their life. So they take it out on others. And one of the big questions that you will oftentimes get is, why do these women stay with these kind of men? She's a rescuer. Women like this, a woman who's a rescuer of souls, she values love and relationships above all else. She's extremely loyal. This is why I say to those who love hard, like myself, we can't love any and everybody. We just can't, because we're the type that when we give you our love, we give you all of our love. And it takes everything to take it all away. We don't just do that. We don't do it easily. We will love you and give you chance after chance after chance after chance after chance. We will do anything for those we love. We're just that loyal. So those of us who love hard, we can't get into relationships with broken men. We will give them our all because that's what we're used to. We're used to giving our all to everybody, our children, our family, our friends. So when we get into a ship with a broken man, and then we not just any ship, now we're in covenant ship with them. We're married. We're going to give him our all because we want that potential realized, and we'll start believing that we're his rib, right? And so we'll believe that what a lot of people will say that really doesn't apply to us. We'll believe things like, you have to get it out of him. You have to bring his potential out. Only a woman of God, only his rib can do that. And we'll take on these assignments that were never meant for us. Yes, I can speak some things into my husband, and there'll be reaping. It'll come out of him. But he's not a broken man. He's a full-grown, developed man. So that I can do so. I don't have to spend time trying to fix him first to then pull it out of him. You see what I mean? Because I can't fix him no way. But with a man that's already repaired, fixed, unbroken, when you want to pull out the goodness or potential in him, most times, number one, his potential is already manifested. You're just pulling out more of him. See, we can do that then when he's already got that part together. What you cannot do is do this for broken men. If they're undeveloped and they never finish developing because they wasn't raised properly in order to be developed men, you get into a relationship with them, you're going to find yourself with a project. You're trying to develop him so he can do this. And what you'll do is it'll be disguised as trying to encourage him, trying to uplift him, trying to get him to do. But see, with men that are not broken, you don't have to try to get them to do anything. It's in them already because they're full grown. They're developed. Does that make sense? So you're rescuing women. It's like we look for wounded. So I'm saying we, because that was me at one time. I didn't do it for too long now. I really didn't do it for too long. I got into relationships with broken men, tried to help. And in the end, I'm going to tell y'all a story that I didn't tell on live last night. And I'll end it with that story in just a bit. But we have to understand that we cannot rescue these men, bring them into our life and bring them to a part of our family, reproduce with them and expose our womb and our seed, our offspring, our future to their brokenness. Okay? Children need stable fathers. They need stable mothers as well. But they need both of us being stable and healthy and emotionally available. But broken men oftentimes are emotionally unavailable. But we're reproducing with them. So we'll desperately try to help those we love. But ultimately what we're really doing, trying to help them and encourage them and motivate them, is we're really trying to change him. We're trying to get these men, these undeveloped males, to be developed males, to be what we believe is equal to us. Like, okay, all right, this man don't have this, he didn't have that, he don't have this. So I feel like if I can encourage him, which really is, you're trying to change him. I feel like if I can nourish him, which you're really just trying to change him. I feel like if I can love him, really just trying to change him, then we will be on the same path. Then we can do this life this way and live our best life and all that. And it rarely ever works out to be that way. Rarely. It's not your job, sis. That's not your job. That was never your assignment, but you took it on anyway. You took it on anyway because you loved him. And let me just say, and this is another part where I had to step on some toes. Listen, lady, I don't care how much you love a man. That's not going to make him change. And see, some of us think our love is so the bomb that we can change anybody. It doesn't work that way, sis. It doesn't work that way. You got to start thinking in these cases that your rescuer personality is the best there is to change these type men. See, for many of rescuing type ladies, love is about work. And then in the end, it's suffering. They don't look for the suffering part, but that's what ends up happening. They believe love is work. Listen, and I'm not saying that marriage is not work, and being in love with who you married and doing things in love is not work. But when women are rescuers and they're rescuers of wounded souls, they think that's what love is all about, is work. When it's not. Love is not just sowing. It's also reaping. What I sow into my husband, I reap from him because he's good ground. He's a developed man. But when you sow your love into ground that's not good, you will not reap the benefits Instead, you will reap suffering. Go to any land that hasn't been tilled, the ground is not ready, and just plant seeds. See what happens. See what happens. And let's say you spend all your time and money putting these seeds into this land that ain't ready. This ground is not good. It's not ready. It's not been cultivated. And what happens? You will not get a harvest. Okay? You won't get a harvest. You've been planting your love and your heart, your sweat, your tears, and all of that into this man. It's the same way. He's not ready. He's not ready for a ship. He's not developed enough to be in a ship. He's broken. So you are not going to reap from him. I reap from my husband because he's developed. He reaps from me because I'm developed. Before I could even get into a relationship with him, and even especially marriage with him, I had this broken woman. I had to get my life together. And we went through a lot with me healing and getting delivered from me being a broken woman. And we didn't even walk down that aisle until I was a developed woman. I had mentors, I had therapists, all that kind of stuff because I was a broken woman. But the average broken man doesn't even have that. He's not reaching out for help. So sis, you got to get out of his way. You are in his way. So we got to get to the point where when broken men approach you and they come up to you and they want to be with you, you tell them no. And they have a choice to do two things, one or two things. They either have to grow or go up out your face. Did y'all hear that? Grow or go. But it starts with your no. Okay? You say no, they gotta grow or they gotta go. But even still in that, you got to get up out their way. And you got to make sure that you stay out of their way. Can you love them from a distance? Yes. Can you pray for them? Yes, please do. Can you share some tips with them on some men that you know? Yes. But you do not need to enter a ship with a broken man until he is a reformed broken man, an ex-broken man, no longer a broken man. So why do we keep getting into these types of relationships, ladies? These are self-destructive habits of ours. Why do we keep getting into this relationship? Because you have allowed evil communication, evil companionship, worthless companionship. You have allowed it to corrupt your good habits that you had. And I know many people are going to say if she's picking broken men, she ain't got no good habits. Listen, they have a point there too. Let's be real, ladies. If you don't have any good habits, but you know what? Many of us do start out in life, into our adult life, really wanting what's good, wanting what's best for ourselves, wanting to enter into healthy relationships. But what happens is we go out there and we build a life for ourselves, right? You know, we get that house, we get that car, we have these good jobs, and then we allow broken men to come in and cause havoc. Why? Because of abandonment issues. Abandonment issues. Y'all know why. You've heard of the singer Tina Turner, right? You've seen the movie What's Love Got to Do with It, old classic. And many of you, I don't know, may have read her book I, Tina, which was even more eye-opening than her movie, the movie that was done about her. But she even said in that movie, I know what it's like to have your own family walk out on you. And she said, I just can't leave him. I just can't walk out on him. And that was her thing. Her own mother left her and took her sister, but not her. That's abandonment. And so when you get older, you can do well for yourself in life, and then you find someone to rescue and you don't want to leave them. And you end up marrying them. So now for the rest of your marriage, you are rescuing him. You're rescuing him, that you spend all your time rescuing him. You're not even fully there for yourself or for your children or for others, your friends, and everybody sees you doing it. And the reason why a lot of people ain't really saying nothing, because they do it too. You're surrounded by rescuers. This is why we need to build stronger support systems on women who can call us out. True sisterhood, where we can call each other out and warn us of these broken men and say, no, sis, you don't want to get with him, sis. He's got several children outside of wedlock that he don't even take care of, sis. You don't want to disappear and act, sis. I've been there. And we need to listen and take heed. That's what true sister is about. That's what support systems are for. But we're so busy loving broken men, we can't even build up for ourselves. Ladies, we can do better. So what happens when you marry the broken man? Am I saying divorce? Nope. Don't you dare. Don't you dare take my podcast, my live from yesterday, and go and divorce your husband because he's a broken man because of what I'm saying today. This is to bring awareness. So what happened? And to answer the question, what happens when you marry the broken man? Sis, like I said last night, I don't know your situation. It's an individual thing. The question was, what happens when you marry the broken man? I don't know what your marriage is like. And this podcast and even my Tuesday Talk Live is not for women to go and start divorcing their husbands because they realize they're married to broken men. I'm not an advocate of divorce in any situation. That's up to you. That's between you and yours. What I do is I empower you. I help you to become aware. Remember, one of the things I do is expose the ills of our ships, of our relationships, and expose them so that we can get from struggle love to triumphant love. You're going to have to decide what is best for you. And that's where I come in there as your big sis to help you in your ships. I'm never going to tell you to divorce anybody. I never do that. So what happens when you marry the broken man? Evil companionship, worthless companionship corrupts good moral habits. You will find yourself becoming someone you didn't know you was. And in your marriage, you lose your identity because you're so busy trying to fix him. And you say it's encourage him. I remember many days of my dad being on the sofa and my mom trying to get him to get up and go to work. And it was something she really could never do. No matter how good of a person or a woman she may have seemed to be or was, she couldn't make him do it. Broken men are broken men. They're underdeveloped. And you can't develop them. I know this is seem like it's male bashing. It's not. I uplift righteous men, develop men all day long. I stand with and for. And then when it comes to providing, broken men can't really truly provide for you. Even if they make good money, have good jobs, or have a successful business, they can't really provide for you. Because providing is more than just monetary. It's more than just money. And that's what a lot of people don't seem to understand. They feel like as long as he pay the bills, I'm good. No, but you have emotional needs, psychological needs. You have all these needs. And I'm not saying that a man is going to fulfill all of those needs. What I am saying is when a man is a provider, he's a developed man. He doesn't just provide in money. Men who provide make sure everybody in the home is good. Whether it's coming directly from them or not, they make sure they're like overseers. They make sure everything is good. Everyone is good. Not just bills paid. They make sure their wife's heart is good. Their children's heart is good. And if they can't do anything directly to help their hearts, they know how to delegate to make sure they're okay. Like there are times my husband is like, well, you need to, I may be down or something, whatever. He's like, you need to get out. I'll keep the children and you get out. Now, he didn't do anything technically directly to help my heart and me feeling down, but he provided a way for me to get up, to uplift myself. That's what providers do. They make available for use. They supply, they furnish, they impart, they contribute. They take care of your heart, but that doesn't always mean they take care of it directly. They also take care of it indirectly by saying, you know what? Like when I get to travel with my friends, with the Queen team, or I get to kick it with my best friend, they say, I got the children, or I'm going to clean the house for you today, or I'm going to do this. That's also providing. Broken men won't do that because they're not thinking about your needs. They're not thinking about your emotional needs. They're not thinking about your mental health. They're so busy thinking about themselves, but they're not even thinking about themselves as in getting help. They're just thinking about what they can get. That's why they get so mad at you when you mess up, but you're not as hard on them when they mess up. See, provide is another word for provide is arrange. So when my husband may not be able to give me directly what I need, he can make arrangements. Okay? Plan and prepare things for me to get better. So I can have some alone time, or so I can travel a little bit because I've been home with our children for so long or whatnot. He may come home and bring money home saying, here's some extra money after the bills are paid to go do something for yourself. Or you know what? I'm going to take you out tonight on a date night. Another word for provide is cater. Y'all go look up the word provide and then you will know what a provider is. So they have to be, even if they can be emotionally withdrawn sometimes, they will set it up to make sure you have your emotional needs met with your support system, with your girlfriends, your friends, your other people. They're not going to be selfish and controlling and jealous because you have relationships with others. They're going to understand that, hey, I can't give her everything, but I can definitely arrange for her to have everything that she needs. I can't give her everything she needs, but I can arrange for her to have everything she needs. I can't give her all things, but I can make sure all things are available for her use. See, it's not just money and paying bills to provide. It's making sure her spiritual needs are getting met too. I may not be the best prayer in the world, but I'm not going to get in the way of her having prayer meetings and prayer groups. I'm not going to get in the way of her being with her friends to have a spiritual accountability and things like that. I mean, because a lot of times we women are looking for these broken men to lead our homes and guide us. And I'm like, really? He's a broken man, but you married him and he's not leading the way in spirituality that you need. He's not fulfilling your spiritual needs. Okay. That's what a support system is for. Sis, who in your support system? I'm getting off into something else. I'm getting ready to be done. I'm done. I'll get too hyped, y'all. But I went all into providing, and I need to calm down a bit. You're expecting these broken men to do things that unbroken men do, and they're not going to do it because they don't know how. And you can't teach them how. You can't make them do it. See, these men are known to fake it till they make it. That's why they seem so kind and nice and everything up front, because they're faking it until they make it into a ship with you. And oftentimes that ship is covenant. And now you're married to them. So at the end of the day, what happens when you marry the broken man? You're going to lose a lot when you marry the broken man. So you're going to lose a lot of yourself because you spend so much time trying to get him unbroken, to trying to fix him. You're going to lose yourself. Your mental health will be at risk. Your marriage is definitely at risk. Depending on if you have children or not, that you're raising with him, that you reproduce with him, or you brought into the marriage that he's around, you are exposing them to his brokenness, and it will affect you all negatively. These are the things that happens when you marry the broken man. So for the ladies who are in marriages to broken men, and you know the traits that I've went over earlier are the traits of your husband, what do, right? The best things for you to do at this point, you've probably already been praying. And I would never say to stop praying. I will never say stop praying, but it's time to take action. You have to determine what your next move and your next steps are going to be. So one of the biggest steps, I would say, after you're praying about it, is you need to reach out about it. Don't waste any more time. I'm not talking about to your peers and complain about your husband. That does no good at this point. I mean, I understand we need to rant. Okay, fine. But it's time to start reaching out to someone who can help you. If you have mentors, you have your support system, some older, wiser ladies who's been married a while, you need to reach out to them. Even if it's professional counsel, even see if you can get your husband to go to professional counsel. And sometimes, ladies, one of the best moves to make if he is affecting your life negatively and infecting your life negatively, and I'm for marriages lasting, y'all. I'm for it. I'm pro-marriage. If it comes to that, then you need to seek help from someone who can help guide you in the best decisions to make. And if at the end of the day it's separation, then separation it is. I've been separated before, so I'm not afraid to speak on it and say that it was one of the biggest blessings in my marriage, although it was involuntarily on my end. But separation actually can cause a manifestation of reconciliation. But you have to get out of his way, sis. You got to get out of your husband's way and let him be a man. You got to let him learn how to be a man. You can't teach it to him. So if it comes to that, it comes to that. These are some things that you can do. If you feel like, you know what, I don't really know what to do, or I'm having all these issues with it, then that's where Big Sis come in. OEV.life to get your consult today, or Help My Life session. You go to OEV.life and click that link. Because this right now, you have options. Depending on where you are in your marriage will depend on if they're limited or if they're a lot. And I'm not going to ever tell you to divorce anyone. So if you're coming to me, I'm not telling you to divorce. That's going to be up to you. And I'm not going to encourage you to divorce. But I will encourage you to make moves. I will help you plan a step-by-step. If you get a Help My Life session with me or a few sessions, I will help you plan your next move. And I will hold you accountable on doing them so you can get the results necessary and needed for your home, for your mental health, for your spiritual health, for your psychological health, for your emotional health, for your well-being, for you and your children. and also for your husband. Because in the end, when we make smart moves to better ourselves and our home life, it oftentimes will benefit them as well. Because in this situation, what you'll be doing is getting out of his way and allowing him to learn how to man up. Okay? Even if he goes to counseling with you, it's not going to do any good unless he does things on his own. He cannot keep leaning and depending on you to help him become a developed man. It's not us who change our men. It's not women. It's not wives who change undeveloped men to developed men. It is the man himself who does that. And he's going to do it with action taking on his part until it becomes, it may be mechanical for him first, but until it becomes automatic for him to do. And you can pray him on. That's the way you cheer him on. That's the way you be there for him, is by praying him on and getting out of his way. Okay? So if you need help on getting started on doing that, hit me up at oev.life and make your appointment today. Hit the one that says help my life or a quick consult. Because if you got some ideas and already got some plans in mind, hit a consult and I can help you with some confirmation or point you in direction of some other things you need to be doing. But if you need a full session, then that's the Help My Life session. And I can let Big Sis help you with that. Other than that, ladies, can broken men get better? They sure can. You got to get out of their way. I do know of marriages where the woman got out of her husband's way. He was a broken man, and she let him go figure it out on his own. When I say on his own, that means that you get out of his way. We don't nurture undeveloped men. We nurture developed men. And I'm not talking about nurture like a child. I don't want y'all to get it confused with what nurture really means. You got to use nurture in its proper context. Okay? We're not talking about nurturing children here. When you are nurturing a developed man, you are encouraging, you're providing encouragement and promotion of what he already is. Did y'all get that? When you look up the definition of nurture, you'll see raise and rear and all of that. No. We're not raising any men. That's where we miss it there when we try to raise broken men. No. We got to use nurture in its proper context for development. When you're in a relationship with a developed man, this is where you encourage him. You stimulate what's already in him. He already has growth. You're just stimulating it for him to grow more. You're creating the atmosphere for him because he'll take advantage. Men who are developed take advantage of the atmosphere an awesome wife provides. When he comes home and he's tired and she's there listening to his day or whatnot, or she keeping to herself and let him get his time to himself, we're cultivating something here. We're building together because we're both full grown. We're both developed in a covenant. All right. But when you're with a broken man, it's one-sided, especially if you're a developed woman and he's undeveloped. Now you will be trying to raise him and nurture him in that way, and it won't work because it's not for you. You didn't birth him. It's not for you to raise him. So I'm too long today. I'm getting out of here. I love you. Hit me up for your 20-minute consult or Help My Life session. Go to oev.life and hit 20-minute consult. If you want to be a part of the Tuesday Talk Live, where I talked about this in more detail, and it was very emotional for me and for many ladies that was on there, go oev.life. oev.life. Not only just get you your consult today, but also get in a group. Click to join the group. Ladies, I love you, and this is what I do. So I don't want y'all to think that I'm just glossing over your issues, and I don't want you to think that I didn't answer the question of what happens when you're married to the broken man. I'm letting you know these are the things that happen, and you want solutions, and it just depends. It just depends. I'm not an advocate of divorce, but I am an advocate of strong, healthy marriages. Okay? And I'm an advocate of women. So I want to help you and be a big sis in this and help get you from struggle love to triumphant love. But the only way to do that, sis, you got to reach out. You have to reach out for encouragement. I'm about empowering and encouraging women to do what's best for them and their family. I want to also give a shout out to Dr. Seth Meyers. He actually has a book that he wrote about loving broken men and rescuing Mr. Potential, if y'all want to look that up. When I was ready to talk on this, I stumbled across this man's work online and was so intrigued by it. It was like so confirmational and compelling to me. Like, wow, this is some things I've been talking to some wives on and talking to some ladies about, that it just was like, wow, here next Wednesday doing the same thing that I'm doing each week, which is exposing the ills of relationships and the repression of sex lives while giving pragmatism to get from struggle love to triumph in love and to get from sexual repression to sexual liberation. I am OEV of Be Truly Faithful. Make sure y'all are sharing this podcast. Share. Make sure you're also following me right here. And if you need that appointment, hit me up at oev.life. Sis, I love you. I'm here for you. Enjoy the rest of your week, sis. Much love.